are human descendants from different possible human futures, and that they've all come back to this fork point, that they're all kind of competing for their, it's like Facebook. It's like time traveler Facebook, like, come visit my future, make me real. I want to be the future. In that sense, it's kind of disappointing, really. I hope that at least one of our futures is more cool than that.
Hey, drawing on that same line of thought, intention developing the future, whose intention? Do you see the correlation between the fact that this eclipse is possibly the biggest migration of humans the planet's ever seen? In this country, we can afford to drive to 60 square swath of 60 linear miles. And well, here's the other, the yin yang, the other part of it, and the fact that in the last 2 weeks, the negative connotation about world, I want to use the word, I don't want to use the word, but Holocaust is just accelerated to a level we haven't seen. What is your take on that?
Well, the fact of the matter is that Taylor Swift has sold more music than the Beatles, right? There's twice as many people on the planet now as there were back then. We are approaching that point of criticality that Bruce Damer will be speaking about in just a few minutes, where it's just before the climax, right? It's just before that point where we reach an awareness as individuals that something's got to give. Where even the Donald Trumps of 20 years from now are going to be looking at the angle of how they can, how we're gonna have to come up with some sort of ecotopian situation here so that I can survive. And that's impinging on our mass reality, because, as Zap said earlier, it's getting better and worse at the same time. And we're reaching we're reaching critical mass very quickly.
I perceive the same thing. So the question, more to clarify more, would be, who came up with the negative publicity in contrast to the positive eclipse publicity?
Well, if it bleeds, it leads. It's a feature of the landscape of media as a business. I wouldn't regard it as a conspiracy. It's more just it's every available opportunity. You're gonna steal that little hit of free sugar everywhere you can.
We're all addicts.
Yeah, lying will always persist. That's a chapter in the book too. Lying persists in every communications network, because even though it can't take over the network, there's always going to be some opportunity for false representation.
Evil and good.
My question is this: if we were all spokes on this huge thing, some are the black, some are the white, however we look at that, and you describe, an individual trajectory. I was thinking about after a supernova, when it explodes, it runs into planets. Like they ran into ours, and that's why they find gold mines that go down like 8,000 feet. So in that sense, my question is simple. I could distill it to one word, which is religion. In that the centerpiece, light, hashtag, as we all see it, has always been, my images. But
can you lean in a little more?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
No, just about religion. How you think a centralization you draw versus a dispersion you draw.
Okay, so those two forces, you talk about evolution as breaking down at the same time that it's collecting, right? That there's entropy and then extropy, organization and decay. And the same thing, we see that with, everywhere. Everyone's super excited about decentralizing, right? Oh, decentralize the economy with the banks, get rid of the banks. Well, okay, sort of, except we forget that, in our rush to decentralize everything, we forget that nature operates according to this fractal scale similarity, a branching pattern, where the tree has one trunk and many branches and many more leaves. That we have as one really good example of the hazards of decentralization. The Protestant Reformation created, it was like a tree falling in the woods, and all of a sudden all of these competing saplings rose up, all of these different interpretations of the Bible. It was the Wild West of Christianity for a couple hundred years there. And at which point, apocalyptic death cults took over the city of Munich and engaged in a war against the church. We're not, it's not, these creative opportunities are also deeply disruptive and destructive. And the Silicon Valley idealization of disruption is basically an indicator that we're like approaching the lip of the waterfall, you know, and that it's becoming, things are changing so fast that we're actually starting to like socioculturally side with that. But religion will always have a place in one form or another. I mean, in the sense that, you know, religare, to reconnect, is a fundamental principle of the cosmos, just as much as things to pull apart is. That these two forces are wed within the resolution of their alchemical paradox. You know? So religion's not going away. You don't want it to go away. You just want it to be, you know, healthier. Yeah. And on that note, I gotta end it here, folks.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you again. Again, please stop on over here in the green tent if you want to talk to me. I have artwork and stuff. If you would like to take some stuff home, it would be helpful. But I would rather just engage you in conversation and give you stickers and give you hugs. And then I'll come back here and I'll sit down for the rest of Bruce Damer and Lauren Carpenter's talk. All right? I love you. Thank you.